14 years.
Yeah, bro.
And it's not just in D.C., not just in North Carolina, not just on the West Coast. It's actually all over the world. You can pick it up. So what's happening is, we've done a lot of anniversaries, but what's happening tonight, shut that door for me. What's happening tonight is, and tomorrow, is simply a celebration of 14 years and to let people get a better idea of what Harambee Radio and what the New Black Learning Channel is. So because we are going to be uploading this on our New Black Learning Channel, we are videotaping it, and we're not going to wait for folks to arrive that may be still en route. We're going to get going. I promise you that the Blacktricity in here will be hot. And believe me, we got a lot of things that we're going to be doing between today and tomorrow. But I would hope y'all come party with us tomorrow night. We didn't charge for this because we kind of felt like people in DC need to understand a little bit about what's going on with Harambee Radio. People always talk about positive media. They always talk about positive truth vision rather than television. Well, once Delani Amon comes inside, I'm going to let y'all see who's the man behind the engineering of Harambee Radio. There's a lot that's going on all around the world. Eyes on DC. They are going to be with us tomorrow, if not later on. They're supposed to be on their way now, but they're definitely going to be with us tomorrow. We're going to talk about how important Harambee and the New Black Learning Channel is into anything happening for our people. Now, I know a lot of people is all pumped with Black Power and motivated by Black Panther. And that's good. How many of y'all are hip to Black Lightning that's on Netflix?
It's on TV.
Yeah, Netflix.
No, real TV.
Well, yeah, real TV, but Netflix has the whole series on.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So, but the reason I mentioned that is because whether it's Black Panther, Black Lightning, or whatever, y'all need to tune into your Blacktricity. Because Blacktricity is really where it's all at. That's the reality. And I'm a race-first Garveyite. Oh, is Delani out front? Delani was right out front just now. I don't know where he might have went, but come on in, dear. How you doing? I'm doing great. The most important thing that we need to understand about Blacktricity, you will get throughout the night and tomorrow. I will explain to you, even though I'm a race-first Garveyite, there's nothing living on the planet that does not live from Blacktricity. So you can put your thinking cap on about that. You could call the Most High whatever you want, but created out of love, it was Blacktricity. It wasn't electricity. But Blacktricity is everywhere. And African people are critically important where it relates to melanated Blacktricity. So we're going to get going with libation, and we're going to light up the place with the Malcolm X drummers and dancers. And trust me, if you're hungry, see Sister Am over here, because she's got some nice victuals. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Kokai, ask him to go out and tell Delani to come on in. I want him here when we do this libation. I know he ain't been in D.C. in a little while. He's just moving all around, but he needs to be in here while I do this quick libation. Yeah, so the reason I want him, Delani wants to sit in the background, but I'm not going to allow that to happen. Tomorrow he's going to talk a little bit. I'm not going to allow him to sit in the background, because if it weren't up for him writing a book, I must let my people know it wouldn't have been a Harambee Radio. So as soon as he comes in the door, we're going to go ahead and do libation real quick. And then we're going to get into the Malcolm X drummers and dancers. All right? And he's frozen and suspended right by the doorway. I'm waiting to see him come through the door. So, because he can talk. But he said he don't want to do a lot of talking tonight. But Doc, ask Delani to come in the door, please. He's standing right there. I know Kokai is now caught with him. I don't know what's conversation is outside. But
Yo, Delani.
Delani, Delani Amon,
Yo.
you're holding up the progress, Delani.
Hey, come on in.
Delani, you're holding up the progress. I can't open up without you in here. Someone is over in the corner want to see you, I think. Delani, look over to your right. Your left.
You mean the brilliant one?
No, not
the
the
brilliant one?
Anyway.
Well, dang.
What happened to her? I don't know where she went. Huh? Oh, she went to the restroom. Well, that's one of our programmers, y'all, that's here. Yeah, Dale.
Well, I want to say this too, that Kakaya Patterson, who's
Hold free, Delani.
I
Delani,
can't.
I want you to sit right here, bro. Sit right for now. You're going to get a chance to do all of that. I don't want to talk about no Kokaya, nobody right now. Kokaya's my twin brother. And when you see who comes out of the bathroom, you see why you've been in there. You'll see your special.
It's tough for me, man.
Special, yeah, you asked me to be tough because we are videoing, and I want to make sure that you're here for libation. That's the most important piece.
Well, thank you.
So I want you to
Thank
just
you,
sit
Dad.
there. We're gonna open up and get going. And when I give you a microphone, you can take it to the stage. But y'all, Delani Amon grew up here in D.C.
Yeah.
in River Terrace.
Woo.
This is a brother that dropped out of junior high school.
7th grade.
And so, I'm gonna tell a story. Delani. Dropped out of junior high in 7th grade. Now, the reason this is so interesting because he lived down the street from my first, the sister that I married when I came out of high school, who I had my children by. I didn't even know that then. But anyway, long story short, Delani Amon came up with the concept of surviving without a so-called public education by doing it. For some reason, he'll explain more if I get it all wrong later tomorrow. He learned how to make dental parts. He went to school. All right, let me tell a story from my angle. And once, because I'm going to shorten it up, I know you're going to long, Delani.
Go ahead, brother.
So yeah, that's what I want you to make sure you knew she was in.
He won't let me talk to you.
Not yet. So anyway, Delani came up with this concept of making it without what he considered a so-called public education. And he did it by making dental parts, and he did quite well. Not only did he do that, he ended up rising to a point where a lot of dentists were counting on him to make parts. And I'm not going all into that, I'm moving on now. Also, he came up with this concept in 2004 of Harambee radio. And him and I did some things together when he wrote a book, I Must Let My People Know. And that's a good book because he was concerned about all the stuff going on. His oldest son, Jay, convinced him, why keep going on everybody else's show trying to sell your book and traveling all across the country? Why don't you create your own media network? Because me and him kept getting cut off on stations like WOL for advertisement and all kinds of stuff that was going on, right? Right, Delani? Yeah. So, at any rate, he didn't have any idea what the name of an internet network was going to be. And he called me up and he's like, Senghor, I got the name. I said, no, what's the name? He said, Harambee. I said, you got to be kidding me. You got Harambee was available? Anyway, www.harambeeradio.com has been ours. No funds from anywhere outside of our community. No advertisement outside of our community. It is a cooperative. Yeah, Doc, ain't gonna be long. I'm gonna do quick libation. Yes, you can. And so, and I'm ending right here, but this is important. Once he got Harambee, and it was based here out in Silver Spring, he still was doing dental parts. But he set up Harambee Radio, and he called me up and was like, Senghor, we got this, man. We got to do it. He studied with Brother Keedy, and what's my brother's name in Philly? Ricardo Stanton. And they gave him the ins and outs of certain things, because he ain't really know much of nothing. And he got set up, and he set up in his house, or in his shop here, before he moved away from D.C., down on his land his people had in North Carolina, And Harambee has not stopped since then, from 2004. We have a collaborative effort that takes place. It's a cooperative, and it is off the chain. So without any, I'm gonna tell y'all the rest of the story later, but right now I'm gonna do quick libations, and then we're gonna get into some real Blacktricity, because we are videotaping this. We're gonna upload it on another network that grew from his youngest daughter, who told him, Harambee is for older folks, we need some for young people. So we created the New Black Learning Channel. We created the New Black Learning Channel, and those two networks are ours. So without any further ado, I'm gonna do quick libation, and then we're gonna get into some roots and culture, because it's important that we share what's happening with this 14th anniversary, not just with those of you that are here, but with everybody through our New Black Learning Channel. That's why we're videotaping. Delani wanted to pull out his camera. I told him, no, don't do that. We called our New Black Learning Channel network, and Brother Eru is one that uploads a lot of stuff. We call it True Vision. So without any further ado, I'm gonna do a quick libation, and we're gonna get going. And I appreciate you all taking the time and being patient. Way of praying to the Most High and our ancestors, right? Everybody's clear on that, right?
Yes.
No matter what denomination you represent, it's for everybody, all right? Particularly African people. So I want all of you all, and I don't want you to wait to hear a name. When I call some names, I want you to just start calling the names of the people that you want in this room. Because in the African tradition, when you call a name, they come. All right? Y'all ready?
Ready.
So we want to call on the Right Excellent Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey to have his drink. We want to call his Queen Amy Jocks Garvey, his first wife Amy Ashwood. We want to call Drusilla Dungy, Queen Mother Moore, Honorable Charles L. James, Thomas W. Harvey, Carter G. Woodson, Nanny Helen Burroughs. By the way, we're going to get some visitation by an ancestor by the name of Nanny Helen Burroughs. Who's going to tell us what's going on up in the ethers tomorrow. Y'all don't want to miss that. Anyway, we want to call all our ancestors. Let's keep calling. Let's call Patrice Lumumba, Kwame Nkrumah, Queen Nzinga. Come on, call the names. Even your own ancestors. Call them. Come on, come on. I'm right here. It's more of them than it is us. Come on.
Kalonji Lushagoon.
Come on. Susie Carr. Come on. Open Deli. Yes, sir. Mario Deli. Come on, call him. Doc Ben. John Henry Clark. Come on, y'all. Miles Davis. It's more of them than us, y'all. Y'all can't run out of those names. Fred Hammond. Come on. Benjamin Banneker. Yes, come on. Elijah Muhammad. Come on, y'all. Come on, keep going. It's just sound like a song. Come on, come on. Jackson Bay. Farouk Muhammad. Right, Mary Killingham. Mamadi Nasuma. Kalonji Lushagoon. Bobby Goma. Dr. Barnett. Mamadi Nasuma. All right. So, we want to call on all those names, or call all those ancestors whose names we may have forgotten, to also join in this, because their presence is so important. So I say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe,
Yaku, Barnett wins. Yaku.
So now, what's so important about what we just did is you would have no Blacktricity if it was not for the Blacktricity that came before you. One of us come from 2, 2 come from 4, 4 come from 8. Y'all got my drift?
Yeah.
It's more ancestors than it is us. We don't have no excuse about accepting the kind of crazy things that's going on. I mean, sometimes we all make all kinds of excuses and we complain. Guess what? You got the power inside you to change the paradigms. Just like that. Just like that. But you know what? Too many of our people are holding up the very system that oppresses us because they don't know enough of their Blacktricity or their selves. So it's those of us that claim we know to show those who don't know that they got the power to straighten the planet out and put things back where the Blacktricity planned for it to be. Y'all understand?
Yes.
Now, if you don't believe me, you're going to start hearing Blacktricity in different places. I guarantee you, in Africa, in different places. because it's a natural phenomenon. It's not about me, he or she. It's about we, collectivity. And for true sovereignty in the 21st century, even individual countries got to give up their individual sovereignty for the whole of the sovereignty in order for the earth to be in order with the only orderly system that's ever existed, and that is the solar system. All man's systems go up and come down, particularly the ones that are oppressive. So Delani, sit down and let the Malcolm X drummers and dancers raise your electricity. I love you wearing that Union shirt. And later on, y'all gonna hear from my brother Delani. But I know y'all say, well, Baba Singo is long-winded. Kokaya, if anybody give me a hassle about the microphone tonight, I'm gonna have you stick them up with your acupuncture. Because I'm the one that made Delani decide that this year was a critical year for celebration. We had some over on 1400, and we had some in Atlanta, we had some in other places. But believe me, the anniversary is very important. Because now, you see that? Y'all see what just happened? Yeah. Yeah, you could just let them, they decided to come off the wall. Don't put them back. Just sit them down. Just sit them down on the table.
They got to be here too.
They decided to come down off the wall for a minute because they understand better than we do. And what's getting ready to happen here today with the Malcolm X drummers and dancers is by no stretch of the imagination new. The Malcolm X drummers and dancers have always been here in the Banneker City area supporting events of this nature. And before they finish tonight, I'm gonna show y'all how Harambee appreciates Doc and what you've been doing. And yeah, you can move that. In fact, take that, just take it in the back. Yeah, just take it in the back, because y'all gonna knock it all down and jump all over it. And see, when I say blacktricity, I say it's not something that I am putting out there. It's something I, which all of us have, Mama and Kichi. Back to the Black Man Development Center on Kennedy Street. Oh yeah. And the Unity Group. What was the name of it? Center for Black Unity. So we talk about consistency, but guess what? In order for us to get back to the way things are supposed to be on the planet, you got to understand that your heart is one with these drummers. So without any further ado, I'm so happy that Doc and the Malcolm X drummers are here today, because that's going to be a great way to start the anniversary. Because year 15 has got to be much better than mine. And y'all got to understand, Harambee means what? Harambee means what? I mean, it's not just doing Kwanzaa time. We talk about all the time. Getting the black family together, getting yourself together, raising up to another level in consciousness. So without any further ado, the Malcolm X drummers and dancers.
Test.
Check it out.
Testing. Harambee radio station, 14 years of existence, continuous existence. You know, this is what we celebrate. We give thanks to God. Ashe, my baby. Ashe, oh, Ashe, my baby. Ashe, oh, Ashe, my baby. Ashe, oh.
They're gonna turn off the electricity, man. Electricity gonna turn it all off. y'all know what Blacktricity is all about right now, right? Right? All right, well, Delaney, well, you're being absorbed by the ancestral energy right now. And it's important because our ancestors have been waiting and watching too long while we are still too apathetic to understand the real reason why ancestors live forever. So what Harambee wants to do tonight, Doc, come here.
All right.
Y'all are officially a Harambee family, you always have been.
That's right.
But we want to show our appreciation to the Malcolm X drummers and dancers by providing you all with a certificate of appreciation. And look, I want all of y'all in cyberspace and all of y'all present to know the Malcolm X drummers and dancers don't play around when it comes about Blacktricity. In fact, the name comes from Malcolm X Park.
Yeah.
But guess what?
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X is alive.
That's right.
Malcolm X drummers and dancers don't play around. So anyway, we really respect them. And not only do we respect y'all, we're going to make sure that everybody around the world understands. They come to Banneker City or they look at anything of Banneker City, they understand that Malcolm X drummers and dancers don't play around when it comes to electricity.
That's right.
Because y'all raise it up.
Raise it up.
And so to all the drummers, all the master drummers and all the drummers, because we got some master drummers up here, whether y'all realize it or not.
Yeah.
But each one of y'all out there, as Bob and Gomer told us, y'all are drummers too. Drummers in your heart. So anyway, I want to thank the Malcolm X drummers and dancers. We're gonna take a short pause because we got Master C and Ross D coming up. And believe me, y'all, if you don't understand about your body being a drum, you're gonna hear it in what these brothers share in their messages. So I want y'all to just take a little time out. I'm gonna bring Delani up right now though, and give him the microphone so he can talk to y'all for a few. Come on, Delani, you said you didn't want to, but I'm gonna get you now. Now's the time. Delani Aman, y'all.
Harambee. You know, 14 years ago, I went out to L.A. on a book signing tour, like 9 cities and 100 plane rides. And I got out there, and I happened to be invited by Brother Keaty from Lib Radio. And I got a chance to see up close what black ownership was all about, because he owned his own station and he could call you on for as long as he wanted. So I came back to DC in 2004, and I knew that I had to get this done, this whole Harambee thing. And we had heard a lot about Harambee in DC because there are things named after Harambee that had already been there. Right? A lot of people don't remember that back in the day, right? Mine wasn't the first choice. It was just one where I went back and said, if I had to pick out a perfect name, something that people on both sides of the water would understand, what would that name be? It ended up being Harambee. 14 years later, here we are.
Right.
I also want to send a special shout out to Sister Q, originally probably from New York City, but traveling in from Kentucky, who's with us this weekend, not just tonight, but tomorrow night as well. She's on every Thursday, 9 o'clock on Harambee with a program called What the Problem Is.
All right, sister.
And I enjoy that show every week. I'm the engineer there. But tune in to any space on Harambee. You'll see Single and a whole bunch of other folks doing what they do here at Harambee. I don't want to really rehash my story other than to say that when I came along as a junior high school dropout, he's really trying to tell you that the 7th grade was the last grade that I completed. And I spent the next 100 years running from the so-called Mr. Charlie out there, that's all they need to do is find out that you didn't go to school. All they need to do is find out that you've been locked up, didn't take care of your children, on drugs, whole long list. Oh, messing with white women.
No Stormy Daniels.
I've never had that put on me, but I know that when you see my list of no's, there's no white women on there. That's a guarantee. 62 years old, you couldn't give one of those white women. So anyway, it boiled down to being a dropout, and I know that once they see that, you fall through the cracks. And I'm only here tonight trying to let everybody know that you can't let these people tell you where you're going to end up. You got to be like me, where you just will not be denied. Where you say, wait a minute. Because in my family, they say to me, Delani, you pick out the very craziest scenarios possible and then still get it done. You could have went straight through school, went to college, got a degree, and no one would have ever thought anything about it. But you had everybody saying, that fool think he's going to slip by with that little 7th grade. Ain't going to happen. They're going to cut him off at the pass. So when I came along and Senghor and I got together, he actually, I think he may not ever tell me this, but he came to visit me one day in Gaithersburg, Maryland at my office. Because you know, when I'm traveling, and even where I live, people don't believe my story. I don't care how many details or how I try to tell them, they still come back saying, hey, Delani, man, you ain't got no damn book out. Once a week, somebody will come down to where I'm gardening and fishing, and they will go on the internet and see that, oh yeah, I do have a book that I've lectured everywhere, coast to coast. Funerals, Reverend Pinckney, Minister Farrakhan, I've talked to just about everybody. So I can understand why I have a hard time convincing people, because we were led to believe that if you don't have this documentation, as James Brown said, you might as well be dead. So part of me staying alive and getting it done is to encourage, and I had people outside today, you know, youngsters that have no idea that they're already where they need to be. Young lady said to me, well, what does that really mean? I don't know where to start. You're saying that, you know, you just got out there and did Harambee. Senghor, tell him, not one day of schooling about radio television.
All right.
No, so you can't say that when you were lucky that somebody sent you to school, you got a degree, so that's why it was easy. No, we had a couple people in the DC area that said Senghor and we couldn't do that. I mean, they said that from a legal standpoint. Y'all just can't bust up out of here and be doing no radio television. And we had to limit some of the people that were trying to hang out with us because they were so negative. Y'all ain't think y'all somebody. I've been out here and got a college degree and everything, and y'all just gonna bust up out here with. But see, a lot of people until recently are just finding out that when I decided to lead the Harambee group, I had already done practically 30 years of dentistry. Now he said dental parts, not quite right. I was actually an expert in what we call implant dentistry, where you're screwing parts in the bone. And if you take a peek at these hands, these are the biggest hands on the planet, and people in my world didn't think I could do dentistry with these hands. So what I said on Harambee 1,000 times in a row is I know that I'm a descendant and the great-great-nephew of a pyramid builder. You know, and if you ask anybody that's ever worked with me or around me, well, you can attest to the fact that how many times has Harambee ever been late? In 14 years, you can count it on maybe 3 fingers. How many times somebody's program? That's a lot. That's not just 18, that many years in a row, but I'm saying on all year, all week, day in and day out. That's, you know, some people will have an event once a year and it was on time. But you try having 24/7 Harambee and then go back and ask the people like in Kichi Taifa, how many times did I ever call her late to do a program? She'd be like, damn, Delon, I don't believe it was any. Because you know, what is it that we have to do that we don't ever do? We never do stuff on time. You know what I'm saying? When I started Harambee, I was listening in on other stations, and I'm not calling any names, but almost every program was a late start. And I said, oh no, we will definitely not be starting late here at Harambee. So 14 years later, most of the people say, yeah, you're right, Delon, I don't recall that happening. So keep in mind that with our reputation, we have to do a much better job. Because one thing I have found out, that we have this whole other generation, and they can't even tune into your station. You can't even make the programming run on time. I mean, when I did dentistry at a very high level, and when I tell you at a very high level, I had 6 full-time people working for me. My wife at that time, my now 40-year-old son, 42-year-old daughter, and we were very proud of our family business. That my dad's a black guy, and he's got all white doctor friends. I didn't know any black professionals back then. When I ran across Senghor, I was kind of strange to see them. You know, like coming to my office, I had never really seen a bunch of black people.
What's the name of your office? What's the name of your dental office?
It was called Creative like pyramid, create the pyramid. It was Creative Dental Studio.
All right.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
Delani,
Go ahead. So my son and daughter both raised up in that business.
check 1, 2. Delani,
And I'm so proud of them because they could have ran away from me. Yes, sir.
don't give up the mic. But I told y'all when I gave him the mic what's gonna happen, right? Y'all think I can talk? This brother can go. I'm telling y'all, I've seen him do 2-hour shows non-stop with no guests.
Okay. That's all right.
No, I understand, but I'm just saying, all of us got electricity, but everybody always says, oh, you talk so much. But this brother here, now I had 2 shows. And I still got one still on. I got another co-host. Because my co-host, Brother Clyde, got to keep me kind of cool. Because when we get microphones, we kind of roll, you know. But anyway, I want you to know that I want to call. No, hold on.
What's the name of your book, Delani?
Hold on, Delani.
I haven't been on in years.
No, Delani,
Ask him about, I haven't been on in years.
I'm going to get that microphone.
Ask him when's the last
What's the
time
name
been
of
on.
your
Ask
book,
him.
Delani? What's the name of your book?
I must let my people know. And also, don't go anywhere with that. Anyone that leaves me their email, I'll give you a free copy, 174 pages.
All right.
And I do that everywhere I go. Am I right?
All right.
The mic sound nice. Give me the mic, Delani. Don't go nowhere though. Stay right here. Stay right here. Come, Delani. Delani, come back. Brother Kokaya.
Yes.
Come here, please.
Yes, sir.
You know what we want to do right now, y'all, because we got a lot of things that we want to get done between these next 2 days before the party. Hey, Delani, where you going, man? Come on, brother. Delani, please come back. Please come back. So, no, I want you to come back, and I want you. Come here, Delani. No, I got the microphone. Delani. There you go. So what we get ready to do, y'all, is just recognize a few people, and then we're gonna get on with the entertainment. And I want y'all to make sure you get some food and check the vendors out. But Kokaya, and I'm not giving Kokaya the mic. Tomorrow he'll get the mic. You know why? I gotta give it to him because we want to honor the African Holistic Health Association. No, you ain't gotta read it. Just give it to Kokaya. We want to honor them for all the work because y'all that don't know, when Harambee started out, Harambee was about healing and how you ate. Is that not right?
That's right.
Food and how you ate. Because his oldest son was vegan.
That's right.
And even though me and Delani weren't at that time, he told us y'all got to eat better. And he also, and Kokaya's been on Harambee too, and it's a lot of people we're going to honor. We can't honor everybody, but we're going to honor a lot of people. Anyway, Kokaya, please, a few words you can say more tomorrow.
Thank you. Good evening, family.
Good evening, Coca.
Baba Delani, I remember when he wanted to start this station, and he got in touch with AY and got in touch with a bunch of people in the community, and folk were assuming that he wasn't going to be able to pull it off because it was a new concept with a lot of people. But more so, people thought it was going to be an issue because of the revolutionary fervor that was associated with it. A radical station, you know, a station that's going to be talking about revolution, a station going to be talking about liberation of black people on every show, you know, and to have discussions around political prisoners and prisoners of war, you know, who are still presently locked up, Dr. Matul Shakur being one of those, as well as many others. So Harambee, I remember the first Harambee TV show back in the day, and Harambee means let's pull together. We would run to the TV because it was a black woman on with a bush. She had an afro, I think it was Carolyn somebody. But so now the whole concept of Harambee, that concept and that word meaning, let's pull together, is needed more so now than ever. So when we talk about solidarity and we talk about all the splits that exist with so many different organizations and groups, one of the major things that we did all through the 70s and the 80s is we pushed the concept of solidarity. So I didn't care, you know, whether or not you believed in, you know, socialism or black nationalism or Pan-Africanism. We still had the same enemy. And we were able to come together and look past all of those things to fight that same enemy. But for some reason, now today, some of those things are beginning to divide us in terms of our political views, etc. But we still need to understand who the enemy is and whether or not, you know, you go to church on Fridays, Saturdays, or Sundays, or whether or not you believe in the red, black, and green, or the red, black, and green, and gold. you know, we still are fighting the same people. So Harambee!
Harambee.
I got a tough job, y'all, because you know I'm trying to shut people. I'm trying to get to the entertainment, but we want Brother Haru to come here. Come here, Haru. Come here. I know you behind the camera.
Yeah.
This is the Haru the chef, the raw chef. And I mean, and what y'all don't know about my brother Haru is he is the science par excellence epitome of what Marcus Garvey said about true blacktricity. Not only is he a raw chef, he's a thorough cosmic engineer.
Yes, indeed.
And he does the video. He does work with us, whether y'all know it or not. Most people may not see his name around, but he uploads a whole lot of stuff that Singo calls him to upload, and he shoots it and puts it on the New Black Learning Channel.
Okay.
So, Brother Haru, we want to give you this, and we're going to roll right through. We can't give everybody the mic because of time, but I know Haru always got something to say. If you're here tomorrow, we're going to let you say something.
I'll say about the consciousness of information. Remember, information is warfare, and it awakens your DNA through your blood vessels and your blood. So be careful what you watch and what you eat.
The brother is serious, and I know for a fact that he's not a quiet storm. He can talk. But we want to call Alma. Come here for a minute, honey. Come here. Come on from behind that table. Come on real quick. And then we come in Master C. So Master C, so you can start gearing up, brother. So we coming, because we are videotaping, and we don't feel no way that Alma, come on. And I know Alma didn't expect this. But Alma Lee and I, we go back way back. I can't even tell y'all how far back we go. But Sister Alma is not only a jewel with Arts for Our Children and I Thanks the Collard Greens, she's an art to the DC community. She's a blessing to the DC community. So we want to honor Sister Alma Lee with a certificate of appreciation too from Harambee Radio. And now we're going to get her to tune in more and maybe get her on Harambee and talk about some of the healing work she does around bone work. So,
good evening, family. Thank you for this certificate of appreciation. I wasn't expecting anything. So I am a native Washingtonian, and I have lived in every part of the city. And as it turns out, Senghor and our paths have been crossing ever since we were young people, right?
High school.
So as Senghor mentioned, I am definitely an advocate around bone health. Anyone who really knows me, have an opportunity to talk to me, they know that that's one of the first things that I talk about. The month of May is the National Osteoporosis Month for May. There are a lot of stats in terms of bones and what is going on in the community, but what I want to share with you is that the World Health Association says by 2025, a third of the population will have bone health issues. I'm pretty sure you know people who have issues with their bones. One of the things that I have been working is to share more with people around the educational process, because it's something we can turn around. We can be proactive. We can strengthen our bones. We can change our diets, reduce stress, and a lot of different things that really impact the bones. Bone issues is really not an old person's disease. It just shows up when you get older. But it's what you put in your bones, in the bone bank as you grow, will help you to maintain your strength and your stamina as you get older. So if you want any information about bone health, please check me out. I would love to share more information with you. I do community talks. I also am a certified yoga instructor, and I focus on strengthening the bones. You know that we do dances here at the Davis Center for I Things to Collard Greens, and dancing is one of the ways that we support bone health. So without further ado, I thank you all for this certificate of appreciation, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the near future.
Yeah, Mama Alma and I work with the camp. We're going to talk tomorrow about I Things to Collard Greens, but we're just moving right along. But I want Delani to present this one, and I'm going to present a few more, and then we're going to get right to Master C. This is a special one that he's going to present. And I just say, y'all, when you come, you're going to got time tomorrow to talk more about what you do. Because this person we get ready to honor ain't no joke either. I'm talking about when it comes to talking in the mic.
Yeah.
Well, I would have to say that this particular sister, health and nutrition, has always been what people around the country know her for, both mental and physical health. So I'm going to read it. Harambee Radio, Television, and the Black Learning Channel presents this certificate of appreciation to Sister Q.
All right.
During our 14th anniversary celebration, with honor and respect the works and service you have shared with Harambee and the African communities. Your dedication and forthright contributions have served to inform, educate, and organize the vast majority of our people, those scattered to the four winds of the planet and those at home in the motherland. Together we will win. And certificate of appreciation for our one and only Sister Q, who's been with me quite a few years now. Come on up, sister.
Sister Q, yeah!
Now, I'm just trying to figure out, they don't normally let me give out any awards, so what did you do? Did you contact the boss man?
No, Sister. Yes, I'm gonna let Sister Q talk, but Sister Q ain't no joke. Y'all don't just tune in to her show. Y'all need to go to the new Black Learning Channel and check out some of her lectures.
Okay.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. When I told Brother Delani that I was going to come here, he said that he wanted me to be sure to tell you that he's a very nice guy and how much he used to work with. So those were his words.
How much he pay you?
He didn't pay me.
What?
But no, he just told me to come here and say that. But okay, so those were his words. These are my words. I have never had so much fun working with someone. It is my great honor and pleasure to work with Brother Delani. And, he kept asking me to come be on the radio program on Harambee. And I kept saying, no, I can't do it, no, I can't do it. And he was very persistent, And so finally, I'm going to say it like this, I started getting paid to breathe.
Yeah.
So I figured I would take some of that and use it for ammunition.
Okay.
So that's how I pay to stay on the radio.
All right.
So I'm glad that Baba Delani was persistent, and I'm glad that I lived long enough to be able to make a valuable, I hope it's valuable, contribution to Harambee Radio. Thank you all very much.
All right.
Look, we might be short, y'all. Tomorrow, Delani's, and she's going to talk a little bit more about the type of stuff she does on her show. But we are moving right quickly because we got a lot of people we want to appreciate, and we can't do everybody tonight. We're going to do some tomorrow. But thank you, my dear Sister Q. And look, every time I view her on the new Black Learning Channel, I learn something.
I just want everybody to know that she's not coming to DC meeting with us for the first time. We've done Philadelphia, we've done New York City. We just can't show and talk to you about all the stuff we've done.
But go. Not only that, this brother's been on the bridge. Y'all know the big bridge down south with all the history, right? Civil rights. Y'all go to the new Black Learning Channel and watch the line down there. But serious business, y'all need to do that. But I'm gonna move right quickly. Baba Mosi, yes, please come forward. Now, for y'all that don't know, I'm calling up the Minister of Information of the Universal Negro Improvement Association African Communities League, the President of the Winston Banneker Jackson Bay Division 330, and my good brother from Guyana that don't play around, just got back from Africa. He ain't no joke, if you don't know what I mean. But anyway, Baba Mosi, we want to show you our appreciation to you, Baba Mosi Matsamila, and a few words, and tomorrow you get to say la more.
Now this is really a surprise, but thank you very much, my brother. Now I'm not from DC, as you said earlier. I'm a native Guyanese,
Okay.
African Guyanese, but these days I'm just plain African. And being in the UNIA ACL has made that even a larger confirmation, because I've been to Africa. That's only a few weeks ago. For the first time I landed on that continent. And I really believe that that's where I ought to be, because I felt at home. I mean, I saw people there that looked like the people I know, looked like from my own family.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know if you've ever seen Kofi Awunar, his picture. Kofi Awunar's, he resembles my oldest brother. He's the spitting image of my oldest brother. So when I got to Ghana and I was talking about Kofi Awunar, they even told me where he was from, wanted to take me over there. I said, you know, I don't have the time. But I felt at home because I was welcomed,
Yes.
like a family.
Yes.
And so this is an honor for me, this certificate of appreciation. I thank you very much, my brother, and hopefully I'll be able to do the same thing.
Well, I didn't read it. Delani read it. Most of y'all say the same thing, but it's because of your work, brother. And that's no. So these last two that I'm going to do right now, because we're going to get on with Brother Master C, and I want to call him up and Ross D. Both of them come up, please. Ross D and Master C.
All right.
Blacktricity.
Black Christmas.
It's not about me, he or she, it's we collectivity. So when you hear my brother Master C, Sheikh Diop, when you hear my brother Ross D, you are hearing the epitome of Blacktricity. Right. So we want to show our appreciation to Ross D. Thank you, Bob. And here's an envelope for you. And I also want to give one to my brother Sheikh Diop. And you know we put Sheikh Diop first, because you know most people hear Master C, but you know how Zama was, right? But anyway, we want to give you that. We really appreciate y'all, and that's not just for doing this. It's for the work that they do. You see? Because that's what it's all about. And that's what we want everybody to understand. Harambee is not Delani. It's not Baba Senghor. And by the way, I'm the assistant manager of the Harambee Network. I just don't do Black Star Line 9 time. But it's not about me and Delani. It's about all of us, y'all. And we can make Harambee that much greater if everybody tune in and spread the word more, because people in the UK and Africa need to know. So after a while, you're going to hear from Ross D. Right now. You're going to hear from him now. He's going to join me. Oh, hey, well, Ross D, you don't got to go nowhere if you're going to join.
That's the first song?
Get your djembe, man.
That's the first song?
No, it's not first, bro.
You see how these brothers roll? You see what I'm saying? Now I'm going to tell you something. When, you okay? Oh, you need an envelope. Sorry.
1, 2. DJ.
Yes.
Make sure you let them know that Master C was.
No, I'm right now. Yeah, well, this year, almost every year we have honored an artist, and I'm gonna go back. Brother Harua Forai Atta, who sends his greetings to us, who lives in St. Thomas, who is doing a lot of different work. I mean, this brother is, I adopted him as my spiritual son some time ago. But if you haven't checked out some of the health and wellness work that Harua is doing, not only that, if you haven't checked out some of the music and the poetry that he's done, not only that, he is so humble. His grandparents are the folks who ordained Kwame Nkrumah.
Okay.
His father, who's an ancestor now, was a great Ghanaian doctor who moved to Chicago. His brother, his sister, the whole Atta family, that network, because there's a lot of Attas, is off the chain. But when I got Haru to co-host with me on Black Star Line 9 time, he brought all kinds of artists onto the show. So, after Haru, Master C was an artist one year. This year, Brother Zaire of Proverbs. Also Precise Science, and I want to hail up and do 15 seconds for my brother Rough Mike, who is now in the ancestral realm. Rough Mike and Freedom Writer of Precise Science literally grew out of Harambee, out of the Black Learning Channel in LA, and because they were inspired, that name was given passed to them, Precise Science. Rough Mike is now an ancestor. Most people know Kaba has performed with them, but what Precise Science represented was just awesome. Heru, Precise Science, and a few of us, and Tony Martin, and Brother Raymond Battle went to Harlem, New York to celebrate Garvey. Tony Martin is a giant. I spoke Mr. Battle spoke. When Precise Science got the microphone, the youth came out of the woodwork, out of the woods. They was already there listening to us, but they came down to Precise Science. That's how deep Precise Science is. But anyway, without any further ado, you got your own mic, right? All right. I'm gonna let Master C and Ross D wind us up with some.
Okay.
One, two. No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
What do we want?
Freedom.
What do we want?
Freedom.
What do we want?
Freedom.
When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want it?
Now.
When my brother Eric Garner was murdered in New York, he said 11 times, I can't breathe. Y'all hear that all right?
Yeah.
Long as I have the breath of life, I'm gonna keep on fighting for my rights. Long as I have the breath of life, I'm gonna keep on fighting for my rights. Ever since I was a youth, you always harassing me. And we all know the truth. You just want to exploit me. Stuck here in that ghetto, sucking blood from the stone. Like I said from the get-go, you meant to leave me alone. Don't you stop me, don't you mess with me, no. Just let me be. Don't you touch me, don't put your hands on me, no. I can't breathe. Now the fire is burning, raging out of control. So it's time we start learning how to save every soul. No justice, no peace. Oh, don't you hear it echo throughout the land? Yeah. It's up to you and me. Don't you see? This work takes many hands. Yeah. Oh, they occupy as I have the breath of life, I'm gonna keep on fighting for my right. Long as I have the breath of life, I'm gonna keep on fighting for my right. Long as I have the breath of life, I'm gonna keep on fighting for my right. Yeah. So this next song is called Burn You. And this is about how you make a terrorist.
All right, make the light up.
They shoot my son down through the window pane, and I lose my sweet wife just the same. Now what do you expect for me to do? I've got nothing left to lose. Take my land, yeah, and I'll burn it. Force my hand, yeah, and I'll burn it. Take my rights, oh no. Bring me in the night, yeah, yeah. No clean water, no food and no shade. Got no roof to keep my head out the rain. What have I done to deserve such an end? Please tell me the answer, my friend. Take my land, yeah, and I'll burn it. Force my hand, yeah, and I'll burn it. Take my prize, oh no. Rain me in the night, yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Ron. All this fire will never fade. We got the handle and you got the blade. All this fire is burning so hot. It's the haves against the have-nots. Take my land, yeah, and I'll burn it. Force my hand, yeah, and I'll burn it. Take my right, oh no. Rain me in the night, yeah, yeah. Take my land, yeah, and I'll burn it. Force my hand, yeah, and I'll burn it. Take my right, oh no. Rain me in the night, yeah, and I'll burn it. Yeah, that's how you make a terrorist. That's how you make a terrorist. This last one is called Do It. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we do.
Do it for your mama, do it for your pops, do it for your people and all the have-nots. Do it for your sister, do it for your queen, do it for resistance, do it for your dream, do it for the ones who lay it on the line, do it for the love so we won't get left behind, do it for the future, do it for the past, do it. Oh, we've got to do it, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, we've been sitting down too long. Yes, we can feel it in our bones. Everyone comes our way to feed. and left our children in need. We should know that we're on our own. No God will come down from the sky. It's been this way since we were born, and now it's do or die. Do it for your mama, do it for your pop, do it for your people and all the have-nots. Do it for your sister, do it for your queen, do it for me sister, do it for your dreams, do it for the ones who lay it on the line, do it for the love so we won't get left behind, do it for the future, do it for the past, do it. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. War is raging out of control. And do you know who took your soul? It is the one who pays your way to suffer another day. Hey! Keep your eye on the rising sun. Speak out your mind and have no fear. The game's not over, it's far from done. Oh yes, our future is clear. Hey! Children in need. We should know that we're on our own. No God will come down. Oh no. It's been this way since we were born, and now it's do or die. Hey! Do it. Hey! Do it. Oh my God. Yeah. Yes, sir. Look, check this out. I want to make a pitch. I want to make a pitch since I got the mic for a couple more minutes. First of all, I want to shout out Delaney and the whole Harambee radio family. Much respect. I'm so happy and proud and honored to recognize you all tonight. Yay. And I want to make a pitch because my brother Ross D and I are out here laboring in the wilderness, and we are committed to what we do. I'm telling you. We don't take no shorts. And we can't seem to get people, our own, to ask us to do stuff for free. You understand what I'm saying? But we want to do it. But nobody calls him and nobody calls me. You understand what I'm saying? Why we can't pump up artists like him and me? Why? I'm just gotta keep it real. I just gotta keep it real. And he and I have been doing this for a long time. A long time.
You feel me? We don't want no record deal. We don't want none of that. We want some respect from our own. That's what we want.
Baba Moses say you better get ready.
That's right.
Okay. Respect. You want to change the tape? We'll take a real short break. Let me know real quick, because I want to bring Ross Steele. And Ross, you need a mic?
No, I don't need a mic. I just got I'm on time schedule.
Electricity. Okay. All right. You ready?
Yo, you just call about.
No, but he.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, he wants to roll. So you got enough time in there?
About 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Yeah, you got more than enough time. I'm not going to take 8 minutes.
All right. Okay, go ahead. All right.
I want to give it up for Harambee Radio. Here. My life is Harambee. You know, every day for me is Harambee, and Harambee is every day. And so I'm honored and I'm privileged to be a part of the Harambee experience. My dream is to create Harambee world. One day you will see that very soon.
Thank you, bro.
Harambee world is a place, sacred space, where we all come together and learn to pull together for the future. That is 100% I ministry and identity. So, I don't know if this is all really cool. I did this really loud. So anyway, right now I want to give Baba Sheikh, Master C, another hand, a round of applause for his courage. Demonstrating is a delivering of his work. It's always an honor to see the brother and to be a part of his work, part of his journey. We have done so many things together. Right now I just want to dedicate this musical selection, this opportunity, and to the ancestral name. Little daughter's online right now on Facebook. She's asking that we as people, let the children live. Let them live and grow up. Don't shoot them, let them live up. She's crying to the world, to humanity, right now. So I need you guys to do me a favor. Out of Africa comes so many wonderful things. One of the most wonderful things for our man is the languages. My favorite is Kiswahili. We give thanks for Tanzania, give thanks for Zimbabwe, thanks for Kenya, give thanks for SA, South Africa. In those lands we say Harambee. He said Harambee, 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 Harambee. That simply means in translation, say we agree.
We agree.
Come together.
Come together.
Say all together.
All together.
Life over death.
Life over death.
Love over hate.
Love over hate.
Good over evil.
Good over evil.
Light over darkness.
Light over darkness.
So I need you guys to say this with me. This is your part now. You have to get on the drum. You have to say, Harambee, Harambee, Harambee. I know you have in your soul. Harambee. Everyone say, Harambee. All over. Harambee. I don't hear you say, Harambee. Everyone say, that sound like two people today. Hear what we say, Harambee. Listen, Harambee is a place where we all get together. Harambee is where we learn to come together as one. People under the sun, and everyone gets on turn. Harambee. Say what? Harambee. Say what? Harambee. Together. Harambee. Step it up. Harambee. Yeah. Come back. Harambee. Again, you have to listen. Harambee is a land. We're united, we will stand. All for one for all. Stay united together, holding on the roots and culture. Say we love the future, love this world. Harambee, hear what we say. Each and every day. Oh, it's the only way. Harambee.
strong. Help me sing this song. I wanna hear you say. I wanna hear you say that. Hear me say. All right. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So lovely, lovely again. Each and every day. One common unity. That is what my family. That is our stolen legacy. Our stolen legacy. That is our right and destiny. No matter what they say, it's only one. It's only one. It's only one. It's only one. We the people know we shall prevail. For them right now, Babylon, fire will be burning them in hell. Children of darkness never prevail. Everyone right now have to know very well, Missy, what happened. Ready, life matter. Tell me what is delay. Wanna know what happened. Ready, and if all your lives really matter, what is the delay? Do you know what happened man to the brethren on the corner in Baltimore? Do you know what happened in the station wagon? People, the heart makes sore. Mama now have to cry. Daddy, them a wonder why. Them a come and crucify. All away the little liar and I. They wanna know what happened to Freddie Gray. And if all lives really matter, tell me what is delay. Wanna know what happened to Freddie Gray. Remember all lives really matter. What is the delay? What happened to Freddie Gray? That could be you or you or you or you or you or you or you. Tell me what is that delay? If them ever lock up a man without any question, 24 hours later, he end up like Sandra Bland, locking up the woman without any discretion. 24 hours away, it look like Sister Sandra Bland. They say, what happened to who? Freddie Gray. What is it? What happened to who? Freddie Gray. Mama say, what happened to Freddie Gray? Everyone, what happened? You lose your roots, what happened? Right so, Freddie Gray. Get ready, your part. What happened to Freddie Gray? Don't be slow. What happened? You know that was you or your family. You would want someone to remember. You would want someone to care. You would want someone to mention. How the shit is so unfair. If that was your family, you want someone to remember. Someone to talk as if they really care. But because just too far away, they don't understand Babylon say, in this, what happened? And if your life really matters, there will be questions answered already. Your life really matters, there will be answers already. Your life really matters, the answers already. What happened see right now is Love is on the Rise. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah, love is on the rise.
I hope you guys really understand. I'm going to do two things, man. I'm not going to really stand up here and beg for anything. I'm going to tell you this. Love is on the rise. And that because I was born for that. Boy, ever since Donald Duck was elected, serious man, ever since his cartoon come in the office, the day after, my phone has started ringing. My phone has started ringing because people want me to come and bring love to them. Right away. Emergency. And I don't come easy. You can't pay me for an hour. You can't afford it. So I can get this half-hour block. And I'm booked up until 2026. I mean, fully. So don't beg nothing at all. I don't even have to. I mean, I don't really go out. I don't have nightlife. My club started at 9 tomorrow morning. 300 people will be at the door waiting for me to come. And they swear to goodness they're in church. And then bring them baby from all over the world. Every color under the rainbow from the one sun. Come together. And we celebrate Harambee in our fullness. You see me? Right now, I want you to understand, love is on the rise. I see it every day. My greatest gift is to watch a family come with the Harambee children. 18 months old. The woman become pregnant and she had gestation for the whole 9 months. 6 weeks after that baby is born, they bring that child to Harambee. And it happens again and again over the years. That's a miracle for me. They celebrate in the womb Harambee. To bring that life to flesh and still have Harambee. To grow with that child. And still have that child one day say, Baba Rasti. A miracle. It shows me the love is on the rise. So don't worry, chick. Love is on the rise, Bridget. Remember, this is a Harambee song, say love is on the rise. So you're going to have your part, and I got to go. Your part is simply say, you can get your part and work up to your part first. You understand your part when you get to your part. It simply says this. It's my favorite song right now. So I forgot it myself. Alright. It simply says, when you see Harambee children growing, they growing on, cause love is on the rise. Hey. When you see Harambee children growing, they growing on, cause love is on the rise. Everybody say, when you see Harambee children growing, what they doing? Growing on, cause love is on the rise. And this, Harambee children are growing, yes. Hear what they are, one by one. Watch them come with love and inspiration. Harambee children are growing, yes. Indeed, every night and day I pray, they bless me travel, grace and mercy. One by one, watch them come up. 2 by 2, looking at you. 3 by 3 in perfect harmony. 4 by 4, they walk across the floor. 5 by 5, so alive. 6 by 6, they play no tricks. 7 by 7, and heaven on earth. If I hate the children, know what life is worth. 9 by 9, everything is divine. 10 by 10, doing no again. Children around me coming. Every day they keep going. Me say, when you see Harambee children growing, growing, cause love is on the. Good job again. When you see Harambee children growing, growing, love is on the rise. And everybody, you're lovely, lovely. Everyone you're lovely, lovely. You're so full of black trees and tasty. Let's just it again. That sound like electricity. Come on, come again now. One more time. Can we say that? Everybody say again, everyone. One more time again. Oh, the ancestors calling. Oh, the ancestors calling. Oh, the ancestors calling. Holy eye. Hear the nice enough, yeah, first. King John Rastafari, you know, see it. Again. I love you all to max. Everyone, Sankofa, you know. Harambee once again, I said.
Y'all got that electricity?
Yes.
Y'all got electricity? Ross D said you got the electricity?
Yeah.
You gotta show it. You gotta feel it. Anyway, Master C, Ross D, and a company. Y'all, that's awesome. So. All right, I'm coming, y'all. I gotta take them upstairs, but before then, I want to turn the mic over to Delani. I gotta put some stuff away. But let me say this to everybody real quickly.
Turn the mic over.
No, really, serious, because we want to close this video out, and I don't want to rush everybody out of here. I want you to support the vendors, and each one get to introduce yourselves to each one. But certainly, listen up. I want y'all to spread the word. Y'all tell other folks to come out tomorrow. Come out tomorrow at 7. We're going to do it again. We got an ancestor coming to talk to us tomorrow. And I'm not joking.
And a DJ.
Oh yeah, but at the night we got DJ Cliff coming over, Kumba from Baltimore, and he's bringing his system and his music, and he don't play around. But the point that is important for all of us to recognize is this was done to honor our oneness. Yes, sir. Love you too, Ross D. And thank you so much for coming out, and brother Master C. See, I call the brothers up and they say, no problem, we'll be here for Harambee. But believe me, we're going to show that's all over the place and people are going to get to see it. Is that right, Haru? We're going to upload this, right? Not just on YouTube, but on the Black Learning Channel. And y'all check out what I'm saying. It's called The Black Learning Channel. And it's a whole lot of stuff up there already. But we're going to put a whole lot more stuff up there. And check this out. For folks that don't know, Ross Marvin out of Atlanta, Mary Bota out of Chicago, Brenda Dunn Clayton out of Chicago, myself, and guess what? C.R. Gibbs. We've done Saturday True Vision audio presentations for the New Black Learning Channel. With your help and your support going into year 15, we're going to start that Saturday thing again. But it started with a 6-year-old daughter of Delani, a mirror of mine. And in 2014, what you see up here was the 100th centennial of the Garvey movement. Amira and Delani were there. Delani spoke at the Schomburg, and we were doing the New Black Learning Channel. So all y'all out there that listen to Harambee, tune in to Black Star Line 9 time on Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. Notice the time, 9. And I want to give y'all a little history, because it ain't about me. Black Star lion, not lion, backstar lion 9 times is because my life path is a 9, which is the completion of man and woman. And check this. I'm a black star, you a black star. And we need to be more feline than reptile. Hey, I'm gonna say that again because it's going. Hey, I want you to really check out what I'm saying because I can deal with Haru. You know I can break this down scientifically from the brain because your brain has both a feline and reptile side. Unfortunately, the oppressor has programmed the reptilian side, which is violent. You need to suppress the reptilian side and raise your feline side. So it's not just about the Sphinx and the Lion of Judah, but of course they are representations of who you are. Y'all hear what I said? So you got to raise your lion power. And we also are attributing to some ancestors, Brother Hamza. Brother Heru, you know Hamza was our teacher. Well, Hamza was also on Harambee for a while. And we did a lot of eschatology and science of breaking down word sound power. But the most important thing we all got to understand is that we are spiritual beings. Y'all check this now. This ain't come from Baba Singora. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. But your spirit lives on forever. So make your spirit a righteous spirit and not a spirit that is not remembered as kind and well. You got to keep it simple. But we also know you can take it higher. Right, Haru? That's why we say blacktricity. Because y'all know something? Being oppressed is only a temporary condition. You can only be oppressed if you allow yourself to be oppressed. Once you're tired of yourself being oppressed, guess what? You remove oppression. Y'all heard me? I didn't make that up. That's a universal law. Yo, we talk Mahat. We talk about that. Everybody talk about Wakanda. Wakanda. Hello? Y'all know what that means? Y'all seen the ancient Kemet? Y'all seen this position in ancient Kemet before?
Yeah.
Huh? That's a serious thing. So what I want y'all to understand is you can take anything and decode it and get positive energy out of it. But you got to be careful about those who program negativity to come at you, especially on the television. It's designed to wipe your spirit out. So what we have to do is counter that. And we say, I heard Rusty say Sankofa. Y'all know what Sankofa means?
Go back and fetch it.
And when you go back, what are you fetching? Y'all hear me? You got to fetch the right stuff. So when we start talking about the Orishas and the Ogungun, y'all know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about removing all of this crazy stuff and doing it right. Now, I have studied a lot of different things, but my particular calling is your calling. Singor means descendant of God, descendant of the ancestors. You too are Singor.
That's right.
Jawara means peaceful and loving. You too should be peaceful and loving. Baye means straightforward. You too should be straightforward. You see, a name is only a nomenclature. But because Delani stumbled into the nomenclature named Harambee, that means it's up to us to make Harambee go to the next level. Delani can't do it by herself. Sister Q, can you, me, and Delani do it by ourselves? No way. However, we're doing what we call to do. So Harambee is your alls. So when y'all start talking about where is it on the dial? Is it FM? Is it AM? It ain't blog radio. Blog radio is owned by somebody else.
Some white people.
Just like FM and AM is owned by somebody else. But you can go to Harambee's website and go into our archives and get shows all the way back. Is that not right, Delani?
That's correct.
So if you miss it on Tuesday night at 9, or you miss Sister Q, or you miss. Well, Delani ain't on airways no more. Delani only comes on sometimes. He had his own show at one time.
He fired me.
So, but what I'm saying to you all is go to www.haramberadio.com any Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday from 7 to 11 and check out somebody else's show. However, guess what? If you ain't got access to the internet, you got cell phones. Right. And if it wasn't for our brothers and sisters in the Congo, you wouldn't have that. So the least we can do to our brothers and sisters in the Congo, many who have died, pulling that stuff up out of the ground. And he's gonna be coming forward with some real word sound power, because a lot of people don't know what that word really means. But I'm gonna close it out by letting Delani close us out for the evening. You don't have to rush out. You can bend while we break down and give some love to some folks.
Hey, don't go anywhere. The only thing I'm requesting tomorrow is that all you ladies wear your dancing shoes. And make sure you don't leave here without getting a dance with a brother like me that for years danced on television on Friday nights. As a matter of fact, when I used to travel from city to city, there would be more sisters trying to dance or find out what dance I was doing. Simply the
Did you come up here looking for, that's a joke, Delani.
Oh no, I have always tried to go to other cities and dance with the ladies there. I think they see you on television, it's like, well, what are you going to do now? We're here in person. So I always want them to know that I'm not bashful when you see me. I'm not doing that just I'm on TV.
I'm not taking it. Come here.
No, I wanted to.
You know he's from D-City, right? You can hear the D.C. on this brother, right?
River Terrace.
Just because he's been there in North Carolina.
Other side of the train tracks.
Just because he's been from North Carolina for a while.
No, I think what I didn't get a chance to tell y'all about my 12-year-old daughter now is that she was, if you would go online, you would see that she was not just the radio voice, the hour television, you see the dreads hanging down, but she was made to be in control of that station. Not Delani, not Singor, not anybody. When she came on Saturday morning, she had teachers in Chicago that were part of the UNIA ACL, and she would come on and do an hour without them. She had people out of Philadelphia coming on with her, and guess what happened to those two young ladies? They got fired. Now, what do you think it's like to have a 6-year-old daughter that's got to fire a 7-year-old? And so I'm teaching my daughter, I'm standing beside her finding out what she's going to do. It's like, okay, Amira, these Philadelphia guests have been late 2 weeks in a row. She says, Dad, I already know they would have been got fired from Harambee. And I said, so now what are you going to do? She says, well, the children are too young for me to talk to, but I do want to get their mother and father on the phone. And she read them. She read them about the nerve of y'all to have the opportunity to come on worldwide radio, and the only thing I ask you to do is come on time. And at Harambee, on time doesn't mean 7 minutes after the hour. Am I right saying more?
That's true.
Oh, 8 minutes.
You might miss. Yeah, you're right. You might have to play a retake.
You might as well keep on going. So I saw those little girls in Philadelphia because I still, you know, their parents had a program on. The children just couldn't keep up. So we actually kind of went from radio to television, which kind of lost the two girls. But when I saw them in Philadelphia, they had the two longest faces you ever want to see. And they wanted Delani and Iman to get them back on the air. Can you talk to your daughter and see if she can take us back? We'll try to be on time next time. My daughter's like, no, Dad, you told me that this is my station. I'm the boss, so you can't use any clout. So that when people see her everywhere she goes, they say, "Oh, you're the CEO and founder of the Black Learning Channel, and you're still 9 years old. How old were you?" But she came to me when she was this tall, and she said, "Daddy, I want to have my own station. I want to educate the children in the country, pre-K through 7th grade. And I don't want it to be on Harambee." Y'all keep doing Harambee. I see y'all have done very well. On in 100 cities and 30 countries and all. And you just keep doing that. But I want to talk to my age group. And so what you see on there was her in her heyday when she couldn't wait to get up in the morning. So we've been on some big stages, and Senghor has kind of been responsible for that. And all I want to do tomorrow night is do some dancing. So bring your dancing shoes and don't be bashful.
DC in the house.
I know most people say that guy's kind of stuffy. I don't think he can get out and dance. I'm surprised.
Throw some music on, show us right now.
Yeah, let's see.
Come on, let's go.
We ain't scared now. DC.
Now this is my hometown.
DC.
I have a young lady that I didn't get a chance to dance with back in the day because she was younger than me. You know how you're in the classroom with a 13-year-old girl that you kind of like, and her sister is 2 years younger, and the sister would beat her up if she caught her talking to you.
Oh.
This particular lady, you may see her tomorrow night, and it would be the biggest shock of a lifetime because I always liked her. I wanted to dance with her, but her big sister was like, "You better not." She got in touch with me through Harambee, and she says, "I want to come to that Saturday night dance and make up for all those years you didn't dance with me."
Danced all night.
Oh, I plan on dancing the night away. Right, Sister Q? Hi, she said. So I want to thank y'all for coming out.
All right, thank you.
And don't forget to tune into the Black Learning Channel. I want y'all to see my Miss Amira, Miss Valedictorian, skip this year.
All right. I like it.
Now, people say, have you ever had a bad moment while you've been doing radio, television? No, the baddest moment I ever had was being at my daughter's school when she had to come up and make the valedictorian speech. I had never, ever had a bad moment like that live, where I had to go down to one knee to keep myself together because this little girl that I had been with in a whole bunch of places was on the stage receiving a reward that, I don't know, I'm just trying to say that I could have handled it a lot better if I was on it. But when they called her name and she strutted across that stage, and you can go online almost any time, type in Amira Mall, and you'll see a whole bunch of stuff where you'll see what I'm talking about. She don't have no fear. You know, I would have passed out on the stage if I was her age and some. And Senghor and a whole bunch of folks at UNIA up in Harlem when we were up at the Schoenberg Center. You know how much that food was? Like $100 a plate. Did y'all hear what I said? $100 a plate, and my Amira was in there talking about, you know I'm getting down, Dad, $100 a plate. She said the food may not have been worth $100, but it's good to tell people later. So they called her up twice to speak on the microphone, and I said, man, where is this thing going to end? So somebody today asked me about her, and they said, well, she seems like she's done a lot of strict stuff. And I said, no, she can go on, and you'll see her singing Diana Ross and Sade. And yeah, I mean, she likes everybody. She even likes James Taylor's version of Friend more than Michael Jackson.
Okay.
And she's crazy about Michael Jackson, but she says Michael Jackson's version of that song is not mature enough, that if you're going to sing James Taylor's version, you gotta step it up a little bit.
Not mature, man.
So you see her, when I say you'll see her on there, you see her on the camera at 3 years old when she didn't even know what the words were. And that's when I knew I had a problem. I said, okay, there's no doubt a sharp bone in her body. And everybody says that she stole that from me, but do y'all really think she got that from me? I struggle with that. Because I want to give her all her props.
You learned it from somebody.
But no, when we were up in New York, you may have been.
I was there, she was there.
And you know who came over to our table? What's the lady's name? She spoke at y'all next event. You know what I'm talking about. I can't call her name.
Remember Annie?
Maria Mani came over to the table.
Oh yeah, Maria Mani.
She says, you Amira? Amira said, yeah. She said, can I sit beside you? But yeah, I wanna take a break from what they say Harambee and have a little fun tomorrow if that's allowed in my hometown.
Yeah. So
Thank Thank you, Sister Q. You know, because sometimes when you're home, you got a lot of people watching. There are a lot of eyes on you. So, anybody taking any video or anything, they can cut the camera off tomorrow. Single one, I used to go to all the functions, and you know what we would do? We would just film. In Harambee's early years, all the films you saw were depending on he and I having cameras taking videos. Now we can got, you know, down the line, we got professionals in here now.
So, you know, Delani, tell them about.
Go ahead, man. I'm done.
No, don't necessarily go. Y'all go to the new Black Learning Channel. Y'all know Ivy Hilton?
Oh yeah, Ivy.
Huh?
We know her.
Well, Ivy Hilton, we did a tribute to Rabia Rayford. Y'all know Rabia Rayford?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yes.
All right. So we had a big thing of Harambee at my house on 1400 Ingraham Street. I can't even remember what year that was, but you know, anyway, y'all need to check out that on the Black Learning Channel. Kathy, what's my sister's name out of Philly that was that has one of Bob Marley's children? Only Lozana, who also dated Bob Marley for a while. But Only Lozana had a show on for a long time, and she plays bass. And she came to the program at the house,
his house,
playing bass. Bought a brother from Baltimore, and Kathy, Ivy, Lozana, her, and Brother Bliss. Y'all heard of Bliss Ananda?
Yeah.
On violin. I mean, and they did a tribute impromptu for Rabia.
You would have thought they were drunk.
It was incredible.
They had so much fun.
Oh, and a Biko on drums. I played a little bit, but little Biko, little brother. But what I'm saying is, we captured a lot of that, just like we did tonight. And I just want to thank Baba Mosi. Thank you so much, and Brother Malik. I appreciate y'all for supporting. And my good brother from the barber shop is over here. I don't know where all the rest of the barbers are at, because they all told me they was coming. But anyway, that's cool. But Doc, I want to thank the Malcolm X Drummers and Dancers. Thank Master C. Thank Baba D. Because we know, even though all these seats might have not been full with physical butts, that it was running over with ancestral energy. And for y'all out there in cyberspace, we got it for you. We're going to send it to you. And hopefully you send a donation back to Harambee, because you're going to get to see it free. And I'm not going to appeal to y'all here, because y'all already did y'all donation. But come tomorrow, and please come see our ancestor that's going to visit us to talk about other ancestors that she's been talking to in heaven. Okay. And I'm telling you. And then also, this is announcement time. Sunday, a Sunday Kind of Love is going to take place over at the Loft on Rhode Island Avenue. And that's important. You can miss it if you want. But Sister Free Benjamin, who is our music teacher for our I Things to Collard Greens Camp Arts for Our Children, it takes place right here for girls 5 through 13. We're going into year 7. And for those that don't know, we have 5 to 13-year-old girls that come right in this room in the mornings. Well, they come at 8, they play from 8 to 9, and we don't play around. They put their cell phones away. We talk about jump rope, hopscotch, jacks, hula hoop. And when they express themselves, they have their breakfast, then they get in a circle. And Mama Kathy and them don't play around. They also build an altar. Back there where you at, Malik? Yeah. That's where the girls build their altar, their ancestral altar. But the reason I'm telling y'all about this is because we didn't get our funding this year. And I ain't gonna go into the politics because United Way now does stuff, and we got it last year from United Way. But the trust, 17 new people who have been doing business with United Way prior to the trust, they slid in, and so 17 people that have been getting the grant didn't get it. So that's all right, we got a plan B. And our plan B is to raise our own funds. And guess what? Mama Kathy might break it up for us tomorrow. This is something y'all need to think about. Because too often we complain, okay, Sheikh, this is important. I want the video to hear this. We not only raising money by doing our annual yard sale and doing what Free Benjamin is pulling together with Sunday Kind of Love tomorrow with Ivy Hilton, Ayana Gregory, Johans, and a couple other people. That's going to be good. And we also do a yard sale at my house every year. We usually make a couple grand, but that's not going to get it. So Mama Kathy Alma and Mama Alma and a couple other people came up with a great concept where the ancestors are going to be honored, and some other people, and we're going to be asking people, and I'm not going to drop it all out there because I'm going to get on me if I say it wrong. But for real, it's a great method where people are going to be able to help raise in the name of those ancestors, to help those ancestors be remembered and alive, and support the camp. So we get ready to do an all-out call to y'all and to the community, because we want to make sure that our girls 5 through 13 continue to get blessings of the camp. So I said that because we were talking about that. But also, in closing, Delani, I want to thank Sister Q and Delani for coming on up from the South. Well, I don't know, Sister Q, did you based down South? Okay, for coming up from the South to be with us for this. Because many years, a lot of programs, and I know David Horn, who comes on Thursday, he'll be with us at the end of the month. I know that because he just booked himself. He's coming to it for the Pan-African Federalist Movements conference here, so he couldn't come this time. Brother Clyde is in St. Thomas, my co-host. And Sister Chenzara, who's in the Virgin Islands. I'm just mentioning some people. Delani, I know I'm going to miss a lot of people. Sister Chenzara, who comes on Wednesday nights.
Wednesday night, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Virgin Islands.
Dr. Chenzara, she's in the Virgin Islands in St. Croix. Brother David Horn is in LA. Connecting the dots.
Out of Philadelphia.
Out of Philly.
On Monday night. I don't have a show.
No, I know you used to come on. But what was the name of your show, Delani?
Transformations Plus.
Transformations Plus. And then so it's a whole lot of people that are on the airways, and you can go to the website and check all that out.
We get the archives right off the site.
Yeah. You go to the archives, you can pull up the shows. That's right. But
not only that, but you can, if you wanted to hear a show from Sitting War from 10 years ago, it takes me about 12 seconds to send it to you. I'm just saying, we don't just have a couple laying around, thousands. Sister Q over here, you want to hear something from 5 years ago, just tell us a date and time. We've been lucky enough that we have a black operation that don't act black. You can call us and get stuff.
So also it's important you can listen to music 24/7. Independent artists, and some other oldie stuff.
Yeah, Brother Hayru's on there a lot. Not this Brother Hayru, but the spoken word.
Yeah, spoken word.
So, but
yeah, he's flowing down the city.
So it's important. So what we want to do is to close out with a universal prayer. I want to thank the blessings of the Most High for blessing us, and the ancestors for blessing us with a very wonderful evening. I just hope all that did not make it didn't run into any complications. I thank those who did make it, and also wish that you tell others to come out tomorrow, because it's going to be really wholesome. We're going to be here one way or another. 2, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people. We're going to be here again. And then also Sunday. And I also want to hail up, we got some honorees, other honorees we're going to honor tomorrow. Mama Davis just came off of knee and hip surgery. Okay. Mama Davis has been dancing and teaching dance in the DC area for 50 years. This is the Davis Dance Center. I spoke to her this morning, she's fine. I just want everybody to know that, hold her in the light, because she's like Melvin Deal. Her and Melvin Deal are pioneers of this community, and they are elders. And Mama Davis still teaches. Even though she has other teachers, she still teaches. And she's just no joke. And so we have a dance floor upstairs. For those that don't know, the party's going to be in the basement tomorrow evening after we finish the program. There's a dance center downstairs. We do lease the center out to other people. My mom, I want to thank you for coming out and taking your time to cook some good victuals. Did y'all enjoy the food?
Yes.
Huh?
That saved the day.
Yeah.
That saved the day.
All right, so it's real important to recognize that it takes a lot to pull together and to come out on the one. But one most important thing it takes is it takes commitment, and sometimes you got to sacrifice. But despite that, hey Rue, you can shut the video down when we do what I call. Well, I'm gonna close it out with Black Star Line 9 time, and then I'm gonna also close it out with 7 Harambee. Be looking for Harambee. Rosti said it's gonna be all over the world. So anyway, when we close out our show on Black Star Line 9 time, we tell everybody to catch us the next time, but to hold up your right hand and say one God, one aim, and one destiny. 7 Harambees now, y'all. Harambee! 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 Somebody got to count. Harambee! Harambee!